We seemed to find another secluded anchorage, and were 3/4 of the way around the island. The water was inviting to check on the anchor. Geez, stuff is already starting to grow and gallop out. It was pretty shallow here, about 3 to 4 meters. I let out about 30 meters of chain. And there was the mantis. As usual, well dug into white sand. We were pretty far from shore and secure. We could relax. So we're off again. We just left our cool little anchorage for 2 nights. Pretty calm. Now it's a little windy, but that's normal. And there's some people anchored here in this little bay, but I think they're just charter people going for a swim or a day sail and not live aboard. Full-time sailors like us. I suspect not. Another beautiful day of sailing. Well, it's just going to be a short afternoon because we're going to Palmiera, and that will have concluded our circumnavigation of Sal Island. I'm not going to count our chickens before they hatch. We're not there yet, but it's looking pretty good. Conditions are just spectacular today. T'as perdu ton sens d'équilibre? T'as mal à l'oreille? Okay, we're back in Palmiera. So as soon as we have anchored, we can say that we've successfully circumnavigated the island. So now we're just arriving. It's calm here, it's cool. Too many boats, and we'll try to put ourselves in the same spot as we were last time, more or less. I was left to my own devices. Natacha was gone. She'd gotten an earful of sand and water rolling around the beach a couple of days ago, and developed an ear infection. She went to the emergency room and got a referral for a doctor in Mindelo. Next day, she was on a flight back to the city. Our water supply had lasted about a month. I had another 150 liters stowed away, and with just one person, I should have enough to last for at least 2 more weeks. My speedometer was not working. It doesn't take much to clog it up. I remember the first time I did this. I was totally freaked out about letting water into Gallipound. And now it's just routine. I use vinegar to loosen up the calcium growth. While it soaks, I put about half a liter in the toilet and let that sit in the tubing several hours before flushing out some of the accumulated calcium. Preventing a clog in a head is recommended. If you've ever had to unclog a head, you know what I'm talking about. I'd fetched my papers from the police and was ready to go.
The night before going, I got a visit from a friend. This is Jair, a well-known local to cruisers and fishermen. I showed him what I did for a living. He was keen and impressed how well I presented his country.
This is Jair. He's lived here in Palmiera.
Taxi boat.
He's a taxi boat, but he also makes his great tuna conserves and tuna and salt and smoked fish and all sorts of other stuff. He knows everything. When you come here in Palmiera, you must see Jair. He's too cool. And plus he likes to have a caipirinha and a stumpa.
He gave me important last-minute tips about the journey ahead. Leave early so to get to Boavista during the day, never at night. Stay 3 miles from shore and watch for the shoals when coming into the anchorage. And as he suggested, I was off at the crack of dawn. I was solo again. I love Natacha's presence, but I'm a loner at heart. And anyways, I'm not really alone. I have Galapan to keep me company.
A light wind this morning. This is what was predicted. That's why I took off early in the morning to lift the anchor. It's easier when you have the wind facing you to lift it, especially when you're alone. Sails are hoisted. Wind should pick up as we go along during the day, and it's about a 8-hour trip, I would suspect. We got 40 miles to do, 40 nautical miles. We go from this island to Boavista and then a little further to an anchorage there. So now it's just cool running, man. Galapan's absolutely dusted. It's all Sahara dust, because here they have what they call bruma seca, which means the dry fog, and it brings this dust from the Sahara and it gets all over, and plus I'm sure there's some dust from Sal, because it's just nothing but desert and dust here, so it just gets everywhere, man. Galapan needs a good rinsing. Go. Successful jibe. Not perfect, but it did the job. And now we should be heading straight to Boavista. I left from Palmeira out to the ocean a bit more to get a better angle on the wind. I don't like to go straight downwind. So I like it better when I have more of a beam reach, and according to the forecast I should be able to do this all the way down, so now it's like kind of a straight line. Local magnetic anomalies. I think we're okay. Compasses seem to be working fine. I'm keeping track of our travels on the logbook here in French, Journal de bord. I think it's important in case shit happens. I don't do it for little small day trips, but when I'm actually, doing a longer trip, a longer journey, especially when I'm alone here, I think it's a good idea just to write things down. Plus it's a nice, kind of journal, like they're called journal in French. So I do that regularly and keep on top of it, and someday it'll be a cool memento. Coffee's ready, time to make coffee.
Once I've trimmed the sails to Galapan's satisfaction, He just does his thing. I had several hours to go, so I'd keep myself busy. Check my heading, report in the logbook, make coffee, and have breakfast. And bask in wide open solitude. Exactly as forecasted, the wind picked up from the northeast. I use Windy as my weather program. It's free, but I donated $50 to their cause. Nothing is free in life, really, and I believe in supporting people who provide me with a quality product. I'm living off the kindness of my patrons who support my efforts. It's only just to give a little too.
Well, we're about halfway there, and between Sal Island and Boavista Island. Conditions have really improved as far as wind speed, but the sea is pretty agitated. It's pretty amazing how, just a little bit of wind, I mean, it's only 15 knots, and can make up some big waves and stuff, and whitecaps. So, I don't know, that's the kind of stuff that used to intimidate me before, and now 15 knots is like, cool, piece of cake. And especially going downwind, it's just absolute pleasure. Just as, rocking and swaying and watching the waves is hypnotic.